All right, Nick, let's talk about the Nebraska Cornhuskers. I think we've all seen they've been really good this season. I think they've really impressed so far. Dylan Raiola looks like the real deal at quarterback. But how did they get here? It's through the recruiting and development aspect that Matt Rhule brings this team. And on a bye week, what does Matt Rhule do? It's what he does best. He goes out and keeps on recruiting, does a lot of really great stuff. We have a really interesting story for you Huskers fans. I'm Andrew, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, Nick, as I alluded to, bye week for the Cornhuskers. Matt Rhule hits the road, does a lot of really great things recruiting, but there's one thing in particular that he's doing that I think is really special. Let's get into this article, and we can talk more about it on the other side. This is from SI.com. Nebraska football recently threw its name in the hat for 2025 Louisville commit. On Sunday evening, the Cornhuskers offered Buford High School 5'8" standout wide receiver Jordan Allen. Allen is currently committed to the Louisville Cardinals and rated as a 3-star wide receiver. Having caught passes and touchdowns from both Raiolas sticks out to the Louisville commit. Playing with both of them is definitely a pro, Allen said. Just knowing how they play and throw the ball will be easy to come by at the next level. I still have a good connection with Dylan, and I'm very close with Dayton. Allen said it was the head coach who offered him, and the Raiolas are working hard to bring a talented receiver they've worked with to Lincoln. Coach Matt Rhule offered me, and they think that I can be a great asset to the offense, Allen said. The Raiolas have been in my ear since Dylan got to Nebraska. Obviously, this would be big for Nebraska, getting a favorite target of your quarterback of the future and potentially your next quarterback in line as well would be very handy. Nick, I know you've got some interesting thoughts on this one. I'm curious what you think, but Nebraska fans, bye week time. Don't have a game to watch this weekend, so you can really just relax and think about some stuff. And I want you to think about who the MVP has been of the season this far. And when you think of it, let us know in the comment section below. But nonetheless, Nick, what do you think about this really interesting move by Nebraska?
So the most important part of this whole article and this whole report, right? There's a lot of good stuff in there, but the most important thing, the biggest takeaway is that Matt Rhule offered this kid, is that Matt Rhule took the time to meet with this kid, right? Allen, he's a good prospect. He's a good recruit. Nothing against him. He is a 3-star guy. The reality is a lot of head coaches won't take the time and the effort to meet one-on-one to offer with a 3 or 2-star guy if you're at a program like Nebraska. That's the reality, especially in season. Look, right now, these coaches, they're game planning, they're prepping, they're doing all this stuff. They're going to recruit in the bye week. They're going to recruit even during on weeks. But the reality is they don't have time to meet with 16, 17-year-old kids face-to-face, supposedly. What gives Matt Rhule that extra advantage in terms of his ability as a turnaround artist is that he finds a way to make time for the future, to recruit these guys, to make them feel wanted. I guarantee you there's a lot of teams that are going to offer Allen. There's a lot of teams that have already offered Allen this season. I'll bet, I don't know this for certain, but I'm willing to bet Matt Rhule's the only head coach that met with him face-to-face, at least in terms of Power 5 schools, big-time college football. That's gonna really stick in Allen's mind. I remember as a recruit, small level football, 1AA, when I was trying to choose the school I wanted to go to. When I took my visit, it was kind of late in the cycle. I was kind of surprised that not only did my recruiter, my position coach, my future position coach, he didn't just come to meet me for dinner. The head coach brought his wife too. Like that really stuck with me because like, whoa, I'm really wanted because I know the head coach of the program, his wife, they got better things to do in theory than hang out with some high school kid, take him out to dinner on a recruiting trip, right? That really stuck with me. And it's like, okay, this is a place that wants to be invested in me. That's the same message Rhule is sending when it comes to Allen right here. And part 2 of Rhule's master plan, we talked about it when they secured Raiola many, many months ago. We said, getting such a player of his caliber, of his talent level, his notoriety, we're going to get A players wanting to play with A players. We're going to get that flywheel of recruiting talent continue to grow and grow. So not only is Rhule in this kid's ear, but the Raiolas are as well. We're going to see more receivers, whether it's Allen, other guys, tight ends, offensive linemen, even defensive players. They're going to feel the same energy. Rhule's putting the full court press on. The Raiolas, some of the biggest names in college football, already putting the full court press on. People are going to want to come to Nebraska. People are going to want to turn this program around and get them back to where they were a few decades ago. The momentum, the energy is 100% behind Matt Rhule at this program right now. You can literally feel it, and I'm excited to see where it ends up.
Yeah, Nick, and we talk about this all the time on this channel is how much the college game is becoming like the NFL game. And I think, Allen, like you said, he's a decent player. He's nothing incredible, but we've seen on NFL teams really to get people comfortable having a receiver that you played with in college in the NFL come over with you. It's that comfort level, whether it's like a tight end, like for Josh Allen in Buffalo that he played with in college, whether it's a wide receiver, Jamar Chase. It's a little bit different because Jamar Chase is superstar, but Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, both LSU guys. I think that's a really interesting one as well. But you go down the line, seeing guys that play together, or even when you're a free agent, if you go to another team like a la Aaron Rodgers, bringing Alan Lazard over to the Jets for Aaron Rodgers, having that comfort factor is really important for quarterbacks, especially in new systems, getting used to new things. So I think that could be a really interesting effect as far as Dayton Raiola going to Nebraska, and then next year Dylan Raiola just having someone that he knows comfortable with in this ever-changing new college football landscape. Let's face it, Nebraska, a really strong team, really talented team. Their players might get some notoriety in that transfer portal. Someone might offer them some big NIL bucks. They might go across the border to the unknown. So having a guy like Allen come in and really be that comfort factor, I think that's important. But like you said, namely, the most important part is Matt Rhule's dedication to recruiting. Even to get the smallest of guys, he is one of the only coaches we're seeing doing just this level of recruiting. It's really special, and that's why I am assured that Nebraska is on a trajectory to make themselves a college football team in the next few years.
Yeah, it's one of those things when people ask, how do coaches turn around programs? What's the secret sauce? What's the secret recipe? Are they great at rah-rah speeches? Are they great X's and O's guys? What turns it around? I think what we're seeing from Matt Rhule, and we've seen it before, and there's other coaches that did it too, it's just they're putting in the work. They're outworking their competition. And it sounds so simple, and a lot of people don't want to talk about it because there's not any money in just saying, yeah, certain coaches work harder. That's why they win. That's what we're seeing from Matt Rhule. He's putting in the work. His coaching staff is putting in the work. Heck, his players are putting in the work in the recruiting. And if you got everyone putting in that extra mile, fully bought in, fully on board, willing to go all in to help this program in terms of recruiting and then build that on Saturdays with their performances, there is no limit to how fast Nebraska can rise to the top of the college football ranks. Again, nothing but positive energy and momentum right now behind this program.